In this video, I'm going to showcase and review this brand new VR game, available on the MetaQuest 2 and the MetaQuest 3. You start your journey in medieval Dynasty with absolutely nothing, a loner in these new lands, with a fresh story to begin. Your goal in all of this is to finish quests, build your settlement and stay alive, and it is a surprisingly relaxing game. One of your first choices in this game is going to be where you build your brand new settlement. You are given the choice of 3 places to choose from. I ended up going here, but you can go to any one of them. This video is going to cover the 5 aspects of the game in a showcase style review format. This will give you an idea whether or not this game is for you without revealing too much about the game and the story and everything else. So if you find this video helpful, don't forget you can like and subscribe. It's completely free, you don't have to, but I would really appreciate it if you did. The game has many different aspects to it. It was a lot bigger than I was expecting, and will take you many hours to level up, manage your settlement and gather resources. The first section of this video is going to be all about survival, because if you didn't know, this is a survival game. You start your game with picking whether or not you're going to be a guy or a gal in a medieval European landmass. I'm not sure where, but it's definitely Europe. You must keep your hunger and thirst at bay by finding things to eat and drink. I know, surprise, surprise. But the survival in this game is actually quite relaxing. Unlike other VR games that feel a lot more brutal, this is a very relaxing experience. You don't have to worry about hunger or thirst as much, because it's all pretty plentiful. You just have to look for it.
That's the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
And once you have built your very own house, you can use this built-in cooking station to make yourself some pig stew from chopped up badger. I'm definitely getting tuberculosis after this. To do this, you have to select the recipe from your book, chop up all the ingredients, pop them in the water, and then stir. I love how this is done. It's very interactive. You could always do it the old-fashioned way as well, by sharpening a stick and cooking over an open fire. Or why not go vegan and eat all the mushrooms on the floor like one of those pesky hippies? This is probably dangerous. Are you thirsty? Do you need to get yourself some lovely fresh pond water, duckweed not included? To keep dehydration at bay, you're going to need to wet your whistle. During the first few hours of the game, you're going to need to use that hand, dip it in a pond or a lake, brush off that duckweed and drink away. Later on in the game, you'll be able to find containers that you can use to collect water and drink away. I love how this is done. It's very interactive and really cool to do, to dip your water jug in a water and drink it. The night is dark, and there's actually no terrors aside from a few wolves that can kill you if you're not careful. I've come close to dying, but not yet, and I'm playing on normal difficulty. There are other dangers, but I'll let you discover them, as it's nice to have a lot of intrigue and mystery to the world. I feel like it really made my experience a lot better not knowing everything. This is not a fantasy game, so don't expect dragons. You know, just saying. Now we're going to talk all about the quests. Quests are an absolutely fantastic way to unlock new buildings. Those before pros! That's funny. And you also get some of that sweet, sweet gold that you get to spend on taxes. 80 gold? You bitch. Why is the tax collector immune to be stabbing? Too realistic, 0 out of 10. Jokes aside, the quests are split into 3 main categories: main story, side quest and dynasty. Starting off with the main story, this is the main story of the game, and this tasks you with doing various things for people in the various villages in the world. I know this. I know what I need to do. I found a place called the Barrows. There's one thing I need to do, and that's like collecting herbs or health potions, or finding someone's hammer in a dark cave where the music didn't quite change from the happy outside to the menacing inside, and it created an odd surreal moment. 2, making 3 spears and throwing them at a target, but you actually had to hold the grip button to aim. I didn't realise this and spent half an hour manually throwing the spear at a target, missing and then running back and then throwing it again. This was pain. I even actually had to email the developers and they told me, hold the grip button to aim your spear and then throw it. So, you're welcome. I had to endure half an hour of agony so you can complete the quest easier. Side quest, and not what you're thinking, quest user. These can be picked up in various locations around the map. Some are repeatable and some are not. But be careful of the bounty board because some of those quests are timed, and if you select all of them at once you might not be able to get some of the various resources you need to complete them, and it will cause you to lose reputation because there's a reputation system for the settlements of the game. There are some side quests that are not repeatable. These can unlock more buildings, like for example the hen house. While I think most of the quests are pretty positive, it does get a little bit monotonous running through the forest for about 5 minutes, going from one location back to another. Aside from that, I like the quest system in this game. I think the quests would have also benefited greatly with a bit of voice acting for some of the dialogue. And last but certainly not least, we have the Dynasty quests. These are unlocked automatically and completed when you do various tasks in the Dynasty quest selection. So for example, I had a quest that said build a farm, and once I did that, the quest was complete. Overall, I think the quest system is very positive. It adds a fun level to the game. Compared to other survival games that just drop you in a world and tell you to survive, this gives you more purpose in the world, especially being a settlement builder. To get started in Medieval Dynasty, you're going to need to build many things. From a house that you sleep in and cook your food, to the many tools that you are going to need to gather other materials. I think that the building in this is done really well, especially the crafting of tools. So if you pull the book from your chest and then cycle over to here, you are able to select the tool, and then you have to open your inventory and grab the materials to make your tool. And I think that this system is done really well. It's quite a good system. I like. Later on in the game, you are able to fire clay jugs. You actually have to mold the clay. I like how this is done. And you can also make bows as well. The way that you make the bows in the game is done expertly well. You actually have to spin the fiber on the machine. It's done so cool, and it's really satisfying to make, if not a little bit tedious when you let go. You are going to need many different buildings to build your settlement in Medieval Dynasty. From small, medium and big houses to a workshop, a smithy, all of it can be built. I'm not going to show much in it because I think that it's important that you discover some of these things for yourself. But trust me when I say all of these different buildings have their own purpose and they're very physical in your play space. So when you're smithing something, you actually have to smith it, and when you're making the bows, you actually have to make your bows. So all of these buildings have purpose, and they give you a level of excitement when you build them, and I really like this in VR games. It's weird, it gives me a lot of RuneScape vibes mixed in with other different kinds of games. It's an odd bundle of systems, but it works really well together, and I like it quite a lot. I wanted to end this video on talking about some things that I didn't know before I played the game that I feel like would be important to know. Did you know in this game that you can actually fast travel? All you have to do is go up to the many signposts in the game and travel to the select location on the signpost. I didn't know this until today at the end of this video. Yeah. To actually get settlers for your village, it took me up until today to figure this out. You have to go to this place on the map, the main village, the first village that you go to, and then travel a short distance down the pathway, and eventually you'll get to this camp. And then you just talk to these NPCs and you are able to hire them. And once you've hired them, you'll get these like little pawns in your inventory, and then if you take these little wooden things out of your inventory and put them into the buildings on a little circle thing, that's how you assign workers. It's a really well done system, if not a little difficult to access because I didn't know how to do it for the entire game. And of course, just my luck, I have to add in a little bit of a section here because they released a roadmap. So they're going to continue to fix bugs in the game and improve it for the foreseeable future. There's going to be a visual update for Quest 3. I played this entire game on Quest 3, so that is a welcome addition. There's also going to be beekeeping added, which is something I thought would fit this kind of game. It looks like we're going to be getting a new weapon as well, the crossbow, which is extremely exciting. I always love a game with a crossbow, as well as a small quest chain to go with it. And last but certainly not least, they have confirmed that co-op is in development, so you're going to be able to play this game in multiplayer with friends in the foreseeable future. And if that's not a good enough reason to go pick this game up right now and start your medieval dynasty, I don't know what is. Overall, everything I have experienced in this game has been very positive. It gets a recommendation from me, so link will be down in the description. Medieval Dynasty New Settlement is a lovely, wonderful, relaxing experience, and I highly recommend it. From all of the different systems in the game, to the interactivity and the music and the mystery, it's all really, really good. I hope this video has been helpful to you. I've been JackTheFallout. If you like it, if you found it helpful, give me a subscribe, give me a like. Helps this video get out to other people that might enjoy this game. Thank you for watching, but before this video ends, I've got one more thing to say. And I didn't even mention the fact that there are skill trees in the game. The more you cut trees down, the better you become at it. And the various other cooking and farming things in the game. As well as the fact that you can, as time passes, you get older, you can get married, age up, and eventually, you die.
Okay,
What?
hear me out. Hear
So,
me out.
alright,
Hear me
listen
out.
to me.
Right?
Shh.
Hear me
Nobody
out.
wants to hear from you.
Shut
Nobody wants
the
to hear from
fuck
you.
up.
Go stand in the corner.